Is there something you'd like to add to that?
Yeah, I'd like to talk about the mechanical selling process that we went through for that. It was basically twofold. It was very interesting, very rewarding for us. The first obstacle, like Stefan said, was IBM came in for the first shot, and they did their usual smoke and mirrors parlor trick and made their equipment look very efficient and obviously very affordable. We came in after that, and where we started to differentiate ourselves, we put on our little dog and pony show. Then to end that show, we said, here, why don't you try it from scratch? And that's something the IBM people couldn't have done if they wanted to. And then the IBM people picked up on this because the particular junior high became very interested in the Macintosh. And as Stefan had mentioned, a elementary school very near to this junior high, and actually a lot of these students go to that junior high, were donated an IBM lab. Immediately the principal from this particular junior high contacted us and said that he was a prime candidate because they were a very focal junior high to receive a free classroom. And at this point we had mentioned to him, well, you basically get what you pay for if you do get this free IBM lab and it is installed. The PTA, other parents, and the school board are going to come in and basically see a non-functional computer lab and rather disgruntled kids. Gee, we couldn't get our assignment done today. Today was printing day and we couldn't do it because the network went down. And that if they thought they would receive any more computer monies in the future, that wasn't going to be the case. And if IBM was going to give them something, then they better hope IBM continues to give them things, because they're not going to have any computer monies available after that point. And it was, that was one of the major decisions, to have them purchase a Macintosh lab as opposed to a free IBM lab.
Thanks a lot, Dan. Jack, I believe you have something you'd like to add to that.
What I liked about this success story was the ability to play as a partner. Stefan and Dan, who are familiar with the account since it's in their hometown, and Dan, as a matter of fact, I think graduated from the junior high school and knew the principal. They brought me in, and we non-disclosed the principal and his assistant principal on the Mac LC with the Apple II card. He agreed at that time to allow us to use an Apple IIe lab until such time as the LCs were available. Then what happened in the meeting prior to the purchase, they had in their budget enough money to buy 10 LCs and 10 classics, and that's basically what we settled on with a file server and left the meeting. But after that day, the principal was so impressed with what we had done with the file server, with the support Stefan had given him, that he went back to the purchasing officer and he went into, I guess what we have to call deficit spending. He asked and got permission to put in a total LC lab for these kids with all color monitors on a file server, and went into a deficit spending mode. And the nice thing about this, when you look at it, the beginning of this process was a free IBM lab. No strings attached, basically, the way they come in. And he turned this down in full view of the parents committee that was at the meeting with us and the superintendent's knowledge, and went into deficit spending to put a Mac LC lab in. So that was a fantastic success.